Hello and welcome to INFO.streams from APT SKIDATA, where we take a look at the products, features and services we offer at APT SKIDATA and show you how you can use those to get the most out of your parking operation and the best experience for users of your parking facility. If you've missed any of our previous sessions, please check them out on the APT SKIDATA YouTube channel. Simply search APT SKIDATA and you will find our channel there, and you'll be able to view any of our previous INFO.streams sessions that you may have missed. Whilst you're on the page, please click subscribe to make sure that you never miss on an INFO.stream again and see any new content as it becomes available. Please feel free to click share and share this out with your colleagues so that they can see all the brilliant content and regular updates from APT SKIDATA. You can find us on social media. You can find us on Twitter at SKIDATA Parking, and you can find us on LinkedIn by following APT SKIDATA Limited. In this session, we're going to take a look at what you can do to get your parking facility ready for winter and the Christmas period, and look at some useful hints and tips that will make life a bit easier for you during your busier months. If you have any questions or comments, we would really love to hear from you. So please stick them in the Q&A box and we will post these after the event. If you are watching this after the event on our YouTube page, please feel free to stick any comments or questions in the comments box below, and we will answer these when we see them come in. Also, if you are watching this on YouTube but would like to get involved in our live sessions, please send an email to inquiries@aptskidata.co.uk and we will add you to the mailing list and send out invites for the events. Winter is always an interesting time when you are operating a parking facility, with colder temperatures causing difficulty in your operation, as well as an increased number of customers using your car park to do their winter and Christmas shopping. With Parking.Logic, there are a number of functions and settings in place that can help with this, as well as some interesting options that can make your operation easier, as well as making sure that your customers have the most pleasant experience when using your parking facility. Let's take a look at some of these now. In our session on settings and functions to help with social distancing, we looked at some of the functions that can really help to deal with congestion in your car parks. We have anti-tailback mode, which allows tickets to be issued quicker on entry by pre-printing all the information on the ticket before the button is pressed, and extended exit grace period, which allows for an on-the-fly change to your exit grace for delays in people getting from the automatic payment machine to the exit. These are great functions and can really make a big difference during those busier periods. But during busy periods, it is not always easy to remember to activate and deactivate these functions. Leaving them on can cause you issues. Luckily for you, Parking.Logic has a function called auto control, which allows you to specify occasions when you want these features turned on automatically. You can specify the days of the week and the times this will happen. A couple of important points to remember when setting up an auto control. The from and to period is when this function will turn on. It will turn on within a time window. This is not the period where that function is activated for, so it won't automatically switch off, so you also have to specify a deactivation auto control. The extended grace period will default to the settings in car park settings, so make sure that this is set as you wish it for each of your car parks at your facility. This is a great function that means you can sit back and let the auto controls do the work for you. Space counts tell you how many people are in and out of your car park and set the car park to full to stop letting people in if it is. But with a few more tweaks to your settings, you can add a lot more functionality and control to this, and not only control when the car park closes, but also specify parameters for tolerances. So, for example, you have a car park that has 250 spaces. You want the car park to go full and close when it reaches 250 cars in the car park, but you don't want the car park to open again until you have at least 10 spaces free. Stop people driving around looking for the spaces. To set this up, it's just a few settings you have to adjust. Your capacity. This is the physical number of spaces within your car park. This we will set to 250, as that is the number of spaces we have. The limit. This is the number of cars that can go through the barrier and be present in your facility before the car park goes closed. This we will also set to 250. And finally, your free limit. This is the number of occupied spaces that the count must reduce to before your car park reopens. We will set this to 240. With the settings set like this, when the car park goes full, 10 vehicles must leave the car park before the car park reopens. However, there's another way we can use this. By adjusting the settings, we can put in an over occupancy, meaning that even though there aren't spaces in the car park, people can still enter so that they are ready to go into those spaces as they become available. And it gets the queues off the street and into your car park. So to set this up, we would set this slightly differently. Capacity remains the same at 250. Our occupancy limit though, this we are going to increase to 260, which will allow 10 additional cars in even though the car park is full. The free limit will remain at 250, so again, once those 10 over-occupied vehicles have left, the car park opens up again. That's a great way of putting a bit of extra management in your spaces and making the busier periods easy to deal with. But the key thing, of course, is make sure before you change any of these settings, you've audited your spaces to make sure that they are as accurate as possible. The combination of winter weather combined with your car parks being busier means that it needs a bit more first line maintenance than it normally would. We have a few tips in this that will help you make sure that your machines are running at the peak and give your customers the best experience possible. Failures in equipment will result in disruption, queues, unhappy people during a stressful time. If the car park is being used more, it means that more people are dirtying up your hardware. It will require more frequent cleans. Prevention is always better than cure, so get out there and clean those rollers and blow the dust out of the coders before it becomes an issue. Automatic payment machines and ticket columns have heating units in them to make sure that if it gets cold, these units still can function correctly. These heaters can only function if the warm air can circulate around the inside of the device. Filling this device up with signs, tools, spare parts and other items is not a good idea at any time of the year, as this can block the heater or stop it from doing its job. If components get too cold, they fail, and if ticket stocks get damp, they stop being able to print correctly. Also, just like any other heater, if the outlet is blocked, it can put extra strain on the heating elements, and the heater has to work harder, making it less efficient. In some cases, this can actually result in the heater overloading. So take the time, go around your car park, visit the machines and make sure there's nothing inside the machines that shouldn't be there or doesn't need to be there. Let's keep these as decluttered as possible. Ice and frost protection is essential in your car park and should always be used to prevent accidents. But wherever possible, you should avoid using salt-based de-icing products around your devices. Even the best corrosion proofing in the world can't defend against salt. it will eventually start to corrode components with long-term exposure, causing damage and equipment failures. Always try your best to use non-salt based de-icing products in and around your lanes to prevent failure. Winter is a tough time for automatic number plate recognition. Number plates are covered in dirt and salt from road, making them much harder to read, or in some cases impossible. You will naturally see a drop in your read rates in winter through no fault of the camera recognition system. Let's face it, if a plate cannot be read by the naked eye, the camera isn't going to see it either. But there are a few things you can do to help the camera work to the best of its ability. Firstly, make sure the lens is nice and clean using an appropriate lens cleaner. It will most likely build up more dirt over the winter months, and you need to make sure that that is clean just like any other equipment. Also during winter, you may find that certain things decide to use the ANPR camera as a home. So make sure that you go around and remove any cobwebs from in front of the devices. They attract moisture and it leaves you with a really poor image and poor capture rate. If your camera is indoors or in a dull area, go and check your lighting. Make sure that your lighting is working and is nice and clean. It gives it the best chance of getting the best possible read. Parking.Logic has the ability to add a bit of festive cheer to your parking facility by using customizable graphics. Ticket columns and automatic payment machines and door access products can be customized with custom graphics and even videos, making it a far more fun and festive experience for your customers. This can also be used for advertisement and promotions as well. As well as this, we can amend the notification settings on your ticket columns so that when somebody enters the car park, they get a bit more of a festive sound. This adds a bit more cheer and gives a nicer experience to your customers. And our final tip on what you can do to enhance your customer's experience is to give the gift of parking with our Vouchers module. The voucher module allows you to set certain parameters in place where customers can automatically be given a voucher based on a cash value or a time value or a percentage for their next visit. This is a great way of rewarding loyal customers and encouraging repeat visits to your car park. So there you have it, some very useful tips and tricks to give your customers the best parking experience during the festive period. Thank you for the questions that have come in. Check out our YouTube channel and we will drop the answers in on there. And I'd like to thank you for joining in today. If you'd like to know more about how to use the functions and features APT SKIDATA offers on its parking products, please contact training@aptskidata.co.uk. If you'd like to know more about our available products and services we offer, please contact sales@aptskidata.co.uk. And remember, you can follow us on Twitter @Skidata Parking and follow us on LinkedIn APT SKIDATA Limited. And you can find all of our previous info streams by going onto YouTube and searching APT SKIDATA, and you will find our channel there. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next info stream.